If environment is your thing, forestry is certainly going to tick the boxes. If it's technology, forestry is going to tick a box there as well. If it's generally an outdoor job, absolutely. If it's mapping, so there's huge kind of very diverse areas within the forestry career, so that a lot of people, when we mention forestry, you're talking about some like a lumberjack or something, so it's far from that.
I'm very biased, but you know, I'm going to throw a cliche at you and say you couldn't beat it with a stick. You know, a homegrown, certified E-Class 26 Sika spruce stick.
I have a job where I'm paid to wander around woods and go up and down mountains on a regular basis. Who wouldn't like a job like this?
It's a great balance between, say, office duties and outdoor duties.
It's got the whole lot, so you get to be out in every weather if you want, and also run into the office when you really think it gets bad. You're doing a lot for the environment. You're helping landowners as best you can to manage their forestry, or also get into afforestation. Help also, you know, go out, meet school kids, explain what's happening in relation to climate change and how forestry is benefiting our environment and help mitigating against climate change.
I'm involved in the nursery here for this year is my 29th year. I did forestry in UCD in college. I finished on Friday and I started in the nursery the following Monday week. So yes, I would recommend forestry as a career.
To be honest with you, on a morning like this morning, what nicer place is there to be than in the woods? There's lots of aspects to forestry, from planting, management, harvesting, sawmilling. There's loads of different paths that you can choose in forestry, and for that I think it is a brilliant career to get into.
I've tried a couple of different industries. I've tried engineering, I've tried the agricultural side of things as well. This job, the freedom that it gives you as an employee is phenomenal. Now you do have to be able to organise yourself and be able to plan your week and your month in advance, but it's very free and open, and you're meeting so many different people. You don't know who you're going to meet from one day to the next.
There's a real need for more foresters. There's actually a shortage of highly trained foresters in the country. Forestry as an industry has expanded greatly in the last number of years. Along with the publicly owned estate, there are over 20,000 private forest owners.
I think the job is becoming more and more interesting. What we're constantly understanding is that we're finding new uses for trees, forests and timber. We're finding new benefits constantly for having trees in our environment.
Forestry isn't just managed for timber anymore. So we're managing for a whole myriad of products and non-products from the forest.
I have no doubt in the next 20, 30, 40 years that this will be seen as one of the great noble professions that it is seen in the continent, because it is a fantastic career, and people should look at that when they're making their decisions upon what they want to do in life.
The course in WT is a very diverse course because it's a Bachelor of Science, but it's also very practical as well. My background is in carpentry, so the fact that I could still use my knowledge of timber in the course was very helpful for me going forward, but still it is a Bachelor of Science and there was very scientific aspects to the course as well. I grew up in the country and grew up around the woods and all that, so it was a kind of a natural step going forward.
I think the essential thing in planting a forest is in many ways to treat it like another agricultural crop. Okay, the rotation is much longer. It can be 30 years for fast-growing conifers. It can be over 100 years for broadleaves such as oak. But it's still a crop and it needs to be managed and it needs to be cared for. And I think there is a belief, a false belief, if you like, that you can actually once the forest is established, you can close the gate and wait until it reaches timber production. That's not the case. A forest needs to be monitored regularly. It's not huge work, but it does mean regular inspection just to ensure that the crop is going to maximise its timber production.
Because you have a science program with a business element, and you have some work, you've that element of work experience as well, that really, even if you're unsure of what you might like to do, in terms of employability, they're really well accepted, really well recognised degrees. And we foresters have gone on to work in banking. You know, we have a guy working in Google. IT is a big element of forestry in terms of planning and forecasting and looking to the future.
The thing we need most in Ireland around forestry is basically more good people working in the industry. We need more foresters.